Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and I'm reviewing another episode of Evolve, which honestly I'm late to, but it actually makes this episode a little bit better because we can talk about way more stuff now that WWE has a bunch of releases. So let's just start it off. I didn't remember exactly the order of the show because it's been a few days, so a lot of this might be jumbled up a little bit, but I thought we started off the show with Wendy Chu talking about excited to be champion, wanted to be a fighting champion, and that she selected Laney Luck as her first opponent. For story and like just general fan, I think that's kind of like a weird choice just because she's not really had, a lot of good luck with it. If you're going to be a fighting champion and try to be tough, you would pick Nikita Lyons because Nikita Lyons had technically the best showing in the gauntlet match by having the most eliminations. So as like a outside thing to build up a champion, it makes a lot of sense because it's going to be somebody who is decent but not enough that it's going to be um kind of crazy out there to to really give her that challenge that you think she would lose the title. So I think I'll put it as a solid B. It's okay. It's not too bad. Then Nikita Lyons comes down and says that she should be the first person, and then eventually they get into a whole brawl, and Sloane Jacobs comes down. This would be great for a tag team. I think this would be a great tag team match for next week to further the feud without having to do a title match right away, because it makes sense. Like they obviously had this, and having something like this happen could be really good. The only issue would be I don't know who'd eat the pin because that you're pretty much knocking somebody out of the contention of the number one contendership. I could see you almost like do a thing where Lady Luck ends up not doing like messing up something and costing Wendy Chu to take a like roll up pin or something. So I think there's something cooking here if they do it right. I'm excited either way because at least gives like some contenders for the title, and there's some possibility for some storyline involved with all that. So yeah, I'm on board with all this. So I'll put it up in A. And then we had a match finally between Harley Riggins and Cam Hendricks versus Tate Wilder and Luca Cristofino. This is going to be a weird one because I was like, saying like, oh, originally I was thinking, I'm like, Luca did look pretty good. All this was pretty decent. And then they released him. So, yeah, that is a little bit awkward on this. So, it did make the match in retrospect kind of more sad, I guess. Tate Wilder has been, growing on me of like at least he's getting better in ring. I think he's on LFG season 3, and um, I think that's what's pushing him further to do this type of stuff. I think he's getting a lot more comfortable with his character. I think once they really just got rid of like that he's just that straight laced cowboy, I think he just had that room to expand. Like that's what I kept trying to say is like he just needed something different for who he was. I mean, he could still be like a southern guy or whatever the hell they wanted to do with that, but they didn't have to make him a cowboy. I just think the cowboy gimmick doesn't really work because it really boxes you into being honestly just kind of you know a good guy, I guess. I don't really know. Cowboys weren't really good guys, but that's what it seems like they do. This match was actually pretty decent. I do like everybody involved in here. I would say like probably my least favorite would have been Luca Crusifino ahead of time, but I think he had gotten such a terrible gimmick, but like he was trying to get it over, but it didn't work. Obviously, they got rid of him, so we won't see the end goal to any of this. So a little disappointing on that, but it happens. I think I'd put this match in a C. I think it definitely, man, I'll be. It definitely is like that C plus B range. It's like I think it definitely was solid, but I feel like at least on Cam Hendricks and Harley Riggins fame, they seem like a more cohesive unit, even though they're not normal tag team partners. And on the other side, it's not obviously they're just a makeshift tag team. I just kind of thought like maybe giving the baby faces the win here might have been the call just because they're really lacking, you know, a second baby face to do side quest type things. Like Tay Wilder is kind of that guy. Like him defeating Harley Riggs would have probably been the better call here. But I mean, it's kind of semantics at that point. Then we get a quick one from Callie Armstrong. I think it was about 2 minutes, less than that. Beat up Layla Diggs. Put it in C. It was just meant to make Armstrong look good. And then basically set up next week her versus Tyra May Steele, which I have a feeling they were going to have Tyra May still win this match to give her a boost while Callie Armstrong goes to NXT. If that's the case, scrap the match. They released Tyra May Steele. There is absolutely no point, unless she's taking a pin next week, to release that match, because it just would do nothing for Callie Armstrong. Because like if she puts over Tyra May Steele, it puts Tyra May Steele as a hot contender on Evolve. Callie Armstrong going to NXT could still recover from that a little bit. But if there's no point to it, just have the match scrapped. Just throw two people together and say that the match got canceled for some reason. Maybe they say Tyra May Steele got hurt or something, or even just pretend that Callie Armstrong took her out in the back or something. I don't know, anything. A mystery attacker, do something, because if that's the case, I mean, obviously, if Callie Armstrong wins clean, just keep the match, or just not clean, but just wins in general, it's fine. So, kind of excited to see what they do there, but I do feel like if Tyra wins, get rid of that match. There's absolutely no point. Then we had Braxton Cole talk. Honestly, I'm not too big of a fan. I like his like aesthetic. I like his in-ring presence, but like this like white guy is his gimmick, and I just think it's so stupid. But I'll put it in C. It's definitely something that can be worked on. It's not like a very like boxing one, like like, because when I talk about like the cowboy or other gimmicks that have a little bit of issues, it's like they're kind of like stuck. Like you're stuck to what a cowboy is. You're stuck to like what certain stuff is. But when it's the opposite, like this, there is no like he can do a lot more with it and change, way more versatile than anything else. So I'll put that into C. And then we get Brooks Jensen and Cappuccino Jones in a bull rope match. Kind of being like what Brooks Jensen's specialty at this point. Somebody like Cappuccino Jones in this match, obviously they can, you get those extra, stuff that happens because, people can pull you and different stuff. So, I mean, it definitely works out for having somebody a little bit more, versatile on the other side. I do definitely think that, like, it does make Cappuccino Jones' match quality go down in general because he's limited to having some space to do a few things, and probably some stuff is off limits. But I think it was a pretty solid match. I don't think it was, like, the best thing ever, but I do think it was solid to put on this card. Honestly, the matches weren't too bad. They weren't like anything like to be like this is the best episode ever, but it's a solid episode for what it was. And then at the very end, this new group attacks him with what is it, Mike Cunningham? What is it, Abrams? I forget what his first name is now. But we kind of saw that coming for a while. He was playing a babyface character that definitely needed to be a heel. Maybe a new type of faction coming in here. It's like the only problem with Evolve is that they don't know how to make baby faces that easily compared to heels. Like they just turn a lot of people heel and have a lot of heels on the roster, and it just always isn't the greatest thing to do. I mean, obviously you got Cappuccino Jones, who's a babyface, and Aaron Rourke and stuff like that. You got the top of your division as baby faces, but they're just a lot of heels. And then they also Itzgall came down there to join them, and they attacked him too. So that could be Itzgall's chance of being a baby face, which I honestly don't think really works out. But I'm excited to see what this new faction is. I think I put the whole episode in a solid B. It was just a really decent episode. Nothing like that stood out being like noteworthy of being like, hey, this is definitely an episode that you need to watch again, but watching it was still enjoyable for the hour that I watched it. So I not opposed to recommending it, I guess is the best way of saying it. We also lost Tyson and what is it Demont? Yeah, it's the double. They were with Wesley. They released them. Dante Chen got released, and I'm trying to think who else was on the roster that got released. Obviously, Luca Cristofino and Tyra May Steele. So that really makes a lot of space open there involved. Also, what is it, Sari Linton? But she never even got a match. She was only working the NXT events, but like the live event. So it's definitely one of those things, like where there could have definitely be somebody that takes on an extra space here. I definitely think if you're like part of the women's division across the board, you have a good shot. Men's NXT division definitely has a lot of space now with the call up. So I guess we'll see how all that plays out. But Yeah, solid B episode. If you guys like these Evolve episodes, I do them every week. I've been late the last 2 weeks, but they've been up on the channel. So if you miss any of them, you go back. There'll be a bunch of videos this week because the releases and stuff like that. So I'll probably have quite a few up here. But until next time, this has been Japan. Bye, guys.